for today's cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
Very interesting story from Daily Mail. And this is by Noa Halff. Now, why is it names that I cannot pronounce? I can't even begin to pronounce.
Bogus Pinted?
Yes, exactly. And this was June the 13th of 2024. A rare Yellowstone event that fulfills ancient prophecy is a blessing and a warning, says Native American leader. A white buffalo has been born.
Mm-hmm. What is the prophecy on that?
Well, it says, I'm just going to read it verbatim on this. It says, a once-in-a-generation sighting of a white buffalo being born has occurred in Yellowstone National Park, an event viewed as a religious prophecy. The Native American tribes see the arrival of the rare calf as a sign that major change is incoming, but it is considered both a blessing and warning to the world. Montana photographer Aaron Brayton took photos of the white buffalo in the Lamar Valley on June the 4th while visiting the park with her children. Records show it the first white bison to be born from the last wild herd in the U.S., with other births in recent decades occurring in captivity. So this one was born wild.
Oh.
That's significant.
Yeah.
And the legend says that a woman appears to the tribe at the time of peril, promising to restore harmony to a troubled world. And it says that Chief Arvil Looking Horse, the spiritual leader of the Lakota, Dakota, and Nakota Oyot, and please forgive me for not being able to pronounce this properly, in South Dakota, and the 19th keeper of the sacred white buffalo calf woman pipe and bundle, stated, quote, the birth of this calf is both a blessing and a warning. We must do more, end quote. And scrolling through here, scrolling. He believes the arrival is also a sign that people need to take better care of the planet. Well, yeah.
No shit. People have been screaming that for years.
But it's a matter of some of the ones that are screaming take care of the planet are not, what they're proposing is not actually taking care of the planet. It's hurting the planet.
Yes.
It says the birth of the sacred calf comes as after a severe winter in 2023 drove thousands of Yellowstone buffalo, also known as bison, to lower elevations. More than 1,500 were killed, sent to slaughter, or transferred to tribes seeking to reclaim stewardship over an animal their ancestors lived alongside for millennia. And as far as the ones that were, harvested, basically, is what they were, and people freak out. That has to happen.
Yes.
It has to happen. And Aaron Brayton of Kalispell took several photos of the calf shortly after it was born on June 4th in the Lamar Valley in the northeastern corner of the park. Her family was visiting the park when she spotted something really white among a herd of bison across the Lamar River. Traffic ended up stopping while bison crossed the road, so Brayton stuck her camera out the window to take a closer look with her telephoto lens. And she said, quote, I look and it's the white bison calf, and I was just totally floored, end quote. And that was somebody that had the presence of mind to be able to get good pictures of this animal.
It's beautiful.
It is. It is a beautiful animal. And says after the bison cleared the roadway, the Braytons turned their vehicle around and found a spot to park. They watched the calf and its mother for 30 to 45 minutes.
Wow.
What a cool thing that was.
Yeah.
And she said, quote, and then she kind of led it through the willows there. That was a very strange, just the way that it was there and it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then Brayton came back each of the next 2 days, and she didn't see the white calf again. Huh. That's because that's a very rare thing to be able to see it once.
Yeah.
And for her to be able to share that with the rest of the world.
Uh-huh.
And for many native tribes...
But then that means it was meant to
absolutely.
be seen.
Absolutely was meant to be seen. I mean, of all the people that were there and she happened to have a telephoto lens,
Yeah.
I don't believe in coincidence.
No.
And says for many native tribes of the Great Plains, including the Lakota people, the birth of a white buffalo calf with a black nose, eyes, and hooves is akin sort of to the second coming of Christ. And it says the 2,000-year-old Lakota legend says that when nothing was good, food was running out, and bison were disappearing, a white buffalo calf woman appeared, presented a bowl pipe and a bundle to a tribal member, taught them how to pray, and said that the pipe could be used to bring buffalo to the area for food. Now, I'm not sure exactly, they don't go into the legend as far as what the bundle was. A bundle of what? And you know, anytime it says bowl pipe, you're going to have every stoner out there with their ears perked up now. Okay, so just chill.
I just don't know the context of that. Like, what is...
Not quite sure either. It says, as she left, and this is talking about the white buffalo woman, she turned into a white buffalo calf. And Looking Horse said in relating the legend, quote, and someday when the times are hard again, that the woman had said, I shall return and stand upon the earth as a white buffalo calf, black nose, black eyes, black hooves, end quote.
Is that exactly what the calf had?
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
A similar white buffalo calf was born in Wisconsin in 1994 and was named Miracle, he said. But I think that calf must have been born in captivity.
Right.
Because I remember when it was born.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, oh, this white buffalo.
And what year did you say that was again?
That was in 94. This is the first one
and change
that has...
certainly did happen.
Oh, yeah. That has been recorded to have been born in the wild.
Yeah.
And it says that Troy Hernert, the executive director of South Dakota-based Intertribal Buffalo Council, said the calf in Brayton's photos looks like a true white buffalo because it has a black nose, black hooves, and dark eyes. And as you can see in the photo, what else would it be? But I guess in a day of deep fakes, that people have to be concerned whether photos of anything are real or not.
They do.
And Hernert said, quote, from the photos I've seen, the calf seems to have those traits. And he said that an albino buffalo would have had pink eyes. So it's not an albino. This is a different type of coloration.
Yeah.
And
I mean, this is just it's not just, it is a natural white buffalo.
Yeah.
Non-albino white buffalo.
Yeah, it's a prophecy here. It says a naming ceremony has been held for the Yellowstone calf, Looking Horse said, though he declined to reveal the name. A ceremony celebrating the calf's birth is set for June 26th at Buffalo Field Campaign Headquarters in West Yellowstone. And other tribes also revere the white buffalo. And Hernert said, quote, many tribes have their own story of why the white buffalo is so important, and all stories go back to them being very sacred, end quote. Well, yeah, because that's a rare thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Hernert and several members of the Buffalo Field campaign said that they've never heard of a white buffalo being born in Yellowstone, which has wild herds. Park officials had not seen the buffalo yet and could not confirm its birth in the park, and they have no record of a white buffalo being born in the park previously. I mean, that doesn't surprise me that they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It really, really doesn't. If you, as far as some of these people that go missing in the parks, apparently there's some kind of something afoot there. Jim Matheson, executive director of the National Bison Association, could not quantify how rare the calf is. Well, that doesn't surprise me either. And he said, quote, to my knowledge, no one's ever tracked the occurrence of white buffalo being born throughout history. So I'm not sure how we can make a determination of how often it occurs, end quote. That's because you've got some people that do not pay attention. The Native Americans do.
Yeah.
And it says, besides herds of the animals on public lands or overseen by conservation groups, about 80 tribes across the U.S. have more than 20,000 bison, a figure that's been growing in recent years. In Yellowstone and the surrounding area, the killing or removal of large numbers of bison happens almost every winter under an agreement between federal and Montana agencies that has limited the size of the park's herds to about 5,000 animals. I don't know. I mean, why? Why do that? There were millions that roamed the plains. Millions. Yellowstone officials last week proposed a slightly larger population of up to 6,000 bison, with a final decision expected next month. I'd like to know the rationale on why. But ranchers in Montana have long opposed increasing the Yellowstone herds, here we go, or transferring the animals to tribes. Republican Governor Greg Gianforte has said he would not support any management plan with a population target greater than 3,000 Yellowstone bison. Why? And Hernert says the calf's birth as a reminder that we need to live in a good way and treat others with respect. And he said, quote, I hope the calf is safe and going to live its best life in Yellowstone National Park, exactly where it was designed to be, end quote. And I've got the picture here. And then there was the other one that was with the article. And there's no sign of any kind of, photo manipulation or CGI or anything like that. So it's interesting how that you have some of these people that are supposedly these officials that want to control every damn thing. Everything. And it's gotten ridiculous.
And I hate to say this. I really do. Gotta say it anyway. I truly hope no one tries to kill it. I hope someone does not kill it.
Well, the main thing is that it was born. It has been spotted.
Yeah.
And so that is prophecy. And as with any prophecy, humans have choice.
They do. But they do not always make the good choices.
But that's where it's the responsibility of each and every individual. Yeah. And just because somebody else is doing bad stuff does not mean that you give up doing good stuff.
No, that means you do good stuff more.
Right.
You fight that darkness with light.
Gandhi, be the change that you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
And it is the responsibility. And for too long, we have like, oh, well, somebody else will take care of that. Government will take care of that. Or somebody else will take care of that. And that has helped get us in the shit show that we're in today. Instead of individuals going, I'm here, I'm going to do this. I see a piece of trash, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to put it in the trash can. Mm-hmm. I see somebody that, is in need. And like I said, be careful. You've got to have some discernment to ask somebody that's there, how do I help this individual? If you see a legitimate charity that is doing good work, and a lot of times some of the churches will have like soup kitchens or food banks or different things like that you can either donate time, donate money, donate goods to those things. Those are some of the ways that you help make a difference.
Right.
Go to these local, city, town meetings and different things like that. Ask questions. Hold these people responsible. Because they have been doing all this stuff. They've made it really hard a lot of times for the people to attend some of these meetings, and this is how some of this fuckery gets by, because nobody was there. It is each and every person's responsibility.
It is. But the thing is, these higher-ups understand that. They understand that at the end of the day, the people have the power, and they're trying to rip that away.
Sure, that's why they're trying to divide. A house divided cannot stand. Mm-hmm. And that was within America, one nation. One nation. United.
Under God.
Uh-huh. So this one was like, ooh.
I mean, that is, it's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
each
it's like,
day
what
matters.
changed?
Do what you can do. And this is where the serenity prayer, and I was reminded of that earlier today, because it's very easy to get caught up in the news cycle or whatever, and I had to have somebody reel me back. And that reeling back was, don't focus on the stuff that you can't take care of. Keep your eyes focused on Christ. And that reminder came from my husband, who is in prison.
Yes.
And is in one of the darkest places that somebody can be. And we always ask for prayers for him. And I try not to talk about it too much, because it just, it's hard. It is hard. And that's what I told him. I said, every day I wake up and realize that I may never see you again. So, prayers for our family. And the thing is, where we're one, there are millions. There's millions going through the same thing. So it's a matter of taking care of the earth, taking care of each other. This stupid division and hate and all this stuff, this shit needs to stop. We need to tell people, look for commonalities. And grow the fuck up.
Literally. There's no point bickering about stupid, petty, meaningless shit.
Right.
Fucking microaggressions. No, you're just nitpicking at that point.
Right. They're just looking for a fight.
Yeah.
And it's like, seeking you will find. Regardless, and be careful what you're looking for. Look for the good in other people. Hope for other people. If they're doing something, pray for them.
Yes.
The ones that have the worst behavior need prayers the most. So, final thoughts, kid.
I'm curious to see what change is going to occur.
Yeah. Like I said, it's our
and
choice.
just the fact that it's not an albino, it is a actual white buffalo.
Yeah. Born in the wild.
That in of itself.
And
is a
in
blessing.
Yellowstone.
That in of itself is a blessing.
Well, Yellowstone, as far as volcano, that would be interesting too.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh.
if you've had experiences with the paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, tinfoil hats, idiots amongst us, my God, they're everywhere. Don't be one of them. We have our quota. Then you can send me an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and I will put a link to the article there in the description box.
Yeah. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Check her out on BitChute and Rumble at Werlanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter. Werlanda, COCWS. It's like a radio station call sign, so it's pretty easy to find.
Yeah, I have fun over there. I actually am having fun over there.
Yeah.
And know that you're loved. Tell other people that they're loved, that they were created from love to be loved and to love other people.
You know, that's something I did post on IMView feed the other day. It was like, remember that you are loved and cared for. Even if you don't feel like it or believe it, you are loved and you are cared for.
And there are some people that they don't accept it. And those are the ones that need prayer. And it's like, treat other people the way that you would like to be treated.
Yes.
Let's pray one for another. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup. Bye.
Bye.